YouTube, my name is Jake Asman. Welcome in to my channel. This is the Jake Asman Show for a Thursday, September 9th, 2021. Well, we have made it. We have made it to the start of the NFL season. Cowboys and the Bucks tonight on Thursday night football down in Tampa. Bucks get to raise the banner opening night. Can't wait to watch this game later tonight. And, of course, can't wait for Sunday when the NFL season, the full week one slate, gets well underway. And that, of course, means Jets and Panthers Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern. A lot to cover with the matchup. Also, a lot to cover as far as news involving the New York Jets. Specifically, the team captains were released yesterday, and Zach Wilson is one of the team captains. More of that coming up in a second. But first, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe right down below. Give me a thumbs up. It helps the page grow. Even if you already subscribed, give me a like, a thumbs up. It helps the page. Appreciate all of you. Thanks so much. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well, at Jake Asman. That's where you could follow me. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's get right to it. I got a lot to say on this. Zach Wilson being selected as a team captain. This is not any small feat. This is a big deal because a lot of the knock on Zach Wilson, there were a bunch of things. But I think if we watch Zach Wilson through the summer here, each day there's been something else that's popped up that was in his past that he has put an end to right away, right? Oh, he played at BYU. It's not going to translate to the NFL. BS. Anyone that's actually watched Zach Wilson thinks he might be the best quarterback in this draft. He looked great in the preseason, all that, right? With comments from Tony Romo and Chris Collinsworth and Teddy Bruschi. We've covered that on this channel. But one of the other knocks on Zach Wilson coming out of BYU was, well, he wasn't a captain for BYU's opener last season. And the reason why he wasn't a captain was because he was coming off an injury-plagued sophomore season, right? So Zach Wilson was injured as a sophomore, and that summer, he still technically, even though I think most people around the BYU program would tell you Zach was going to win the job, he still had to win the quarterback job going into last season. So if you're Zach Wilson, oh, you're not named team captain. Well, that's because he wasn't technically the starting quarterback until week one of his college season last year. Then Zach Wilson was named one of the team captains shortly thereafter. But it was still a storyline in the pre-draft process. Was Zach Wilson's not a captain? Zach Wilson's not a captain. It's just like Bo Callahan in the movie Draft Day, right? Nobody's coming to his birthday party. You can't draft this guy. Something's up. That was like a real story that emerged. And, of course, all of Zach's teammates at BYU defended him because it was a bunch of nonsense. Wilson wins the job at BYU. He never looks back. He's team captain. So that was one of the knocks on Zach Wilson coming out. Oh, is he a diva? Can he be a good leader? His uncle owns JetBlue. I mean, people were just throwing a bunch of BS against the wall to try and knock Zach Wilson. So to me, the fact of the matter that he has been the Jets quarterback from day one, right? OTAs, mini camp, into training camp, into the preseason games. There was no fake competition. There was no doubt Zach was the guy. This wasn't Urban Meyer taking away reps from Trevor Lawrence because he wanted Gardner Minshew to get some reps. This wasn't that. This was clearly, Zach, you're the guy. Go out and be the guy. The fact that the Jets voted on team captains and Zach Wilson is one of them as a rookie is a big deal. To put it in perspective, yes, most quarterbacks are captains for their respective teams, but not quarterbacks that are rookies usually. Now, Trevor Lawrence, he was voted a captain. That makes sense. But a guy like Zach Wilson being voted captain, that to me is a big deal because it poo-poos that stupid narrative that, oh, well, is Zach Wilson not a good leader? It's also worth noting here that this means that Zach Wilson has impressed his teammates, right? We know he's impressed the coaching staff and Joe Douglas, the general manager, based on their comments. But his teammates behind closed doors, if they didn't believe in Zach Wilson, they would not have voted him team captain. So it's a big deal that Zach Wilson got voted here. And you know what? This talks about everything that he's done off the field, that he's done to connect with his teammates and be a good leader. Getting the guys together in Florida for workouts before the training camp started this summer. That's a big deal for a rookie to do that and have the leadership skills to get everyone together. Going on all these trips, like to the Islander playoff games, like that's a big deal. Like just being around your teammates, showing you care. He's done everything right. His answers at his press conference yesterday when they tried to bait him into saying something bad about Sam Darnold, he's not going to take the bait. Zach Wilson is ready for New York. He can handle New York. Very excited, very optimistic about what he's going to do over the course of his rookie season. But him being named a team captain, it's not just like, he's a quarterback, of course. He's a rookie being named team captain. And after what happened at BYU last year, where people tried to make that into a story and, he wasn't captain, wasn't true, but people tried to make that into a story. It is a big deal that he's been named captain of the Jets for offense alongside Corey Davis. So the other Jets captains, by the way, and then I have more on Wilson here, and then we'll open it up to some questions. Corey Davis and Zach Wilson are the offensive captains. CJ Mosley and my guy Foley Fatakowski on the defensive line. He's also one of the team captains on defense. You got two captains on offense, and Davis and Wilson, Mosley and Foley on defense. And on special teams, Justin Hardy, who's going to be a return ace for this team, one of the guys they brought in the offseason, he's a captain. So you look at the Jets, I think it's notable that 3 of the 5 captains are guys that are on the Jets in their first year. So, like, you're talking about the leadership is coming from guys that they brought in that they're looking to build a foundation over the next couple of years. Like, to me, it's a big deal that Wilson's the captain. That's obvious. I just outlined some of those reasons. But it's good to see a guy like Hardy be named captain. It's good to see a guy like Corey Davis be named the captain. You want your best players to be your best leaders. The Jets paid Corey Davis like he's an ascending number 1 wide receiver. It's an encouraging sign that he's being named team captain. So it just shows the leadership on this team is young and developing, and I think that should excite every single Jet fan here. It's the start of a new era of Jets football, right? New head coach, new quarterback, but also a lot of new key players they brought in free agency, like a Corey Davis, that you're excited to see what he could do his first year with the New York Jets. So overall, another point on Wilson, like Tua with the Dolphins is not a team captain. He wasn't voted team captain. He's in his second year. That's a big deal. It's a big deal when your quarterback is not voted team captain if he's not a rookie. Now, Mac Jones wasn't voted team captain with the Patriots. He's a rookie, you understand. Justin Fields and Trey Lance were not voted team captains either. But the fact of the matter that Wilson is, it's a big deal. So anyone that tries to poo-poo that, it's another check next to Zach Wilson's name. He has passed every test that has been thrown at him to this point. And I think when the games get real, he's going to continue to look the part of a franchise quarterback. He's not going to have a great game every week. There'll be some highs, there'll be some lows, as with all rookie quarterbacks. But I'm very excited to see what Zach Wilson can do ultimately with this Jets team going forward. Other news and notes to hit on with the Jets. CJ Mosley will be the guy calling the defensive plays for the Jets. What does that mean? It means Mosley will have the green sticker at on the back of his helmet. That green sticker means he'll have the radio in his helmet, meaning Salah, Jeff Albright, they could give him the defensive play calls, and he will relay that to the rest of the defense. He's going to have the microphone in his helmet. So CJ Mosley, you like to see this. Named captain, will be the captain of the defense, will be the captain of calling defensive plays. Mosley coming back and playing well is a huge key for the Jets having a much better defense than what a lot of people probably expect. If CJ Mosley is like 80 to 85% of what he was before he opted out last year and before he got hurt 2 seasons ago in that week 1 game against the Bills, that's still an above average linebacker in the middle of your defense. So CJ Mosley, we forgot how good this guy potentially is. I hope Jet fans are ready to get a nice reminder of that when we see him play for the first time in a while in this week 1 game on Sunday. So that's the other news with the Jets. Mosley will call the defensive plays. Makes sense. Veteran, been a Pro Bowler. He's obviously the captain of the defense, one of the 2 captains of the defense. Wilson and Davis, your 2 captains on offense, and obviously Hardy, your representative of the special teams as a team captain. So there you go. With that being said, let's open it up to some questions, comments, anything else going on with the Jets and the NFL. I see Jason writes in, your thoughts on Marcus May not being made captain. Yeah, look, some teams have more captains than what the Jets did, and maybe if the Jets had more captains, May would have been voted captain again. But here's the thing. Marcus May is a pending free agent. He held out for portions of minicamp and OTAs. He wanted a new deal, didn't work out. He was probably isolated from his team throughout parts of that. So I'm not shocked that he wasn't named captain. I don't think it's ultimately that big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, Marcus May was a captain last year. He isn't this year. That's okay. He's probably not on the team next year, for being real. Whereas other guys that were named team captain like Wilson, Davis, Mosley, they will be on the team in all likelihood next year. So that kind of tells you all you need to know. Was Darnold voted captain when he played for the Jets? Yes, Sam was voted captain. Most quarterbacks always get voted captain. But to me, the significance of all this is the knock on Wilson coming out was, well, he wasn't really voted a captain at BYU. And then the knock on, Wilson was, is he a diva? Can he show great leadership skills? Can he handle New York? He's passed all those tests with flying colors. It's significant that Tua with the Dolphins was not voted captain going into his second year. That is a big deal. Bigger deal, Zach named captain, or that Tua wasn't named a Dolphins captain. This is a Jets channel, so it's easier for me to say Zach Wilson, but it's definitely Tua. I mean, Tua's going into his second year in the NFL. He's clearly the guy in Miami. There's no backup like Ryan Fitzpatrick that's hovering over him this year. And the fact of the matter that he wasn't named captain, I think that's a big deal. I really do. And I think the Dolphins maybe hurt Tua by leaking it out or allowing it to get out that they were very interested in Deshaun Watson. They were, as of 2 weeks ago, still talking to the Texans here to try and get Watson. I have that from a couple people in the know as far as what the latest with Deshaun Watson was. So I think it's Tua, but make no mistake about it. It is a big deal that Zach Wilson as a rookie is voted captain. Why do you think false reporting about Zach always happens? It's not just Zach, but it's just really the pre-draft process. This happens all the time. There are always stories that come out during the draft process that try and discredit whoever the top prospects are that year. Like, you could go back over the last couple of years. There was always something with, the top prospects, and, sometimes it impacts a prospect's draft stock, whether or not they fall. But overall, the Zach Wilson wasn't a captain at BYU nonsense was very easy to point to. The fact is, he was coming off injury as a sophomore, going into his junior year at BYU. They didn't just name him the starter. He went through a, quote, competition at BYU, although I'll repeat, anyone you talk to at BYU said that it was always going to be Zach Wilson. They just didn't want to hand him the job coming off injury. So Wilson wins the job. And, well, his teammates were not going to vote him captain if he wasn't essentially the captain, because you vote on it before the competition played out. So once Zach Wilson was named captain, or once he was named the starter at BYU, guess what? They ended up naming him captain. But because he wasn't named captain right from the start, people tried to look too much into that and say, well, does this mean he's not a good leader and all this stuff? So Zach was a victim of this, Christopher, but I could go back over the last decade plus, and we could probably pick through a bunch of like random draft storylines that don't end up playing itself out in true fruition. It is players who voted for captains, not the coaches. Exactly. It is the players. So Zach Wilson, as a 22, 23-year-old, already having the respect of his players shows you that he's doing something right. Like, age is just a number. Like, players are the Jets are a young team, but they do have some grown men in that locker room, and they can see right through BS. Wilson is not, full of BS, right? He's exhibiting leadership qualities that you hope to have when you talk about a young franchise quarterback. 2 touchdowns and 275 yards isn't too much to ask for. If Zach Wilson threw 2 touchdowns and had 275 yards passing, I'd be thrilled. I feel like that'd be a really good stat line. If Sam Darnold throws a couple picks and Wilson doesn't turn the ball over, Jets have an excellent chance of winning this game on Sunday. There's no doubt about that. Do you remember another starting quarterback, not a rookie, that wasn't voted captain? Josh Freeman comes to mind. Anyone else? I have to think about that, Jason. I have to look that up. I don't know off the top of my head which quarterback was not voted captain that wasn't a rookie. I'd have to look into that. I do remember the Josh Freeman thing. I want to say, I don't want to say that because I don't know for sure. I'd have to get back to you on that. But it is significant that I believe 30 of the 32 teams in the NFL have a quarterback as a captain. And, well, actually, no, that doesn't make any sense because it does, because I'm sure Jimmy G was voted the captain in San Francisco. But, yeah, I mean, the Tua thing, to me, it's a significant thing worth watching, because if Tua has a bad year, there's no way the Dolphins are going to stick with him for a third season. They're going to be very much in the mix for Deshaun Watson once again, once the legal stuff gets cleared up. So it's really important for Zach Wilson to be really good, so us Jet fans don't have to deal with, Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson in the same division and feel like we don't have a quarterback that can match up with them. There's no doubt about that. BYU votes older players as captains because they come back from their LDS mission. Cannot look at Zach not being captain at BYU as the same as other teams. Yeah, no doubt about that, Dark Soldier. And also, Zach Wilson was a captain at BYU. He was on their leadership council. They had the C on his jersey. he was eventually named the captain at BYU. It was a non-story from the pre-draft process that became a big deal because he became the quarterback of the New York Jets, quarterback in the New York market. So ultimately, Zach Wilson being named captain at BYU, he was, and now he's been named captain by the Jets. There's no doubt about that. We will be the surprise team of the year, Brawley writes. 10-plus wins. From your lips to God's ears, Brawley. I'd love 10 wins for the Jets. I'm not going to say 10. I'm predicting 7, but I'd love 10 wins. Believe me, I'd be the first to say I'm glad I was wrong if the Jets win 10 games. I don't see that happening, but I would love for that to be the case. Was Broadway Joe team captain? Yes, Namath was a team captain. There's no doubt about that. What happened when you sucked on your first day of your job? Look, if Wilson struggles on Sunday, it's not going to be the most shocking thing in the world. He's a rookie making his first start. I'm not overly concerned about Zach Wilson big picture, though. I think he's going to be a good quarterback, and over time, we will see that play out. No. Wins matter. That's it. Calm down. Wins do matter for the Jets. But if they win 6 or 7 games, but Wilson plays really well, like, doesn't matter that much. Like, I got to see how they get the wins. Like, yes, you want to win as many games as possible. There's no doubt about that. But if the Jets go out there and they lose a bunch of games, like 35-31, and Wilson plays well, like, yeah, you'll be upset they lost. But this year's about growth and development. Like, if Zach Wilson's playing well and the defense gives up a lot of points because they're inexperienced in the secondary, I can live with that. Like, it's how you get to the overall record that I'm more interested in, right? I'm not necessarily like going to be that pissed if like, oh, the Jets only won 6 games, but Wilson played great compared to, oh, they won 7 games, but Wilson's numbers weren't as good. Like, to me, it's about how they get to the wins, how this young quarterback looks, how do some of the young players develop over the course of the season. Like, that's what you're ultimately looking at, for this team going forward. So you got to obviously put things in perspective, at the end of the day here. Like, how you get to the wins to me is more important than what the overall record is going to be. So being voted captain, like, that's a big deal. Robert Saleh developing young players, that's a big deal. Like, there's a lot of storylines with this team that go beyond like just the overall like wins and loss record. And also, I expect the Jets to be a better team in December than they are when they start things off. Jets score 24 points. That's huge. They're probably going to need to score more than 24 points on Sunday if they're going to win. There's no doubt about that. Carly Fleischer writes in, I'm encouraged by the fact that Robert Saleh didn't do any smelling salts before any preseason games like Crazy Eyes did. Yes, Robert Saleh did not need to do any smelling salts before any preseason games. That is definitely something that we saw previously with Adam Gase. No doubt about that. I'm excited to see Saleh on the sidelines, though. We know he's going to be pumped up. We know he's going to be full of energy. He's the total opposite of Adam Gase. I think that goes without saying. So overall, yes, I'm very encouraged by Saleh. And Saleh's honeymoon period is going to come to an end once the games start being played. But, man, it's been nice having that guy as the coach and that guy giving you some real sound bites at these press conferences compared to what we heard with Adam Gase. There's certainly no doubt about that. I mean, that goes without saying. Overall, you tell me what you think in the comment section as this video wraps up. How are you feeling about the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday? How do you feel about Zach Wilson being named one of the team's captains? My name is Jake Asman. This is the Jake Asman Show here on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to me right down below. Like this video. There's 91 of you watching right now. Thank you so much for watching this live. 96 of you now watching this live. Give me a thumbs up, a like. It helps the channel grow. I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for watching. We are another day closer to Jets football. Tonight, though, Cowboys and the Bucks. Can't wait to watch that. Thanks for watching this video. I'm signing out. Thanks so much. Have a good one, everyone. See you.